Good morning and good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for attending this new episode of the icoone Talks, the business series. Today we are going to focus on the new perspective in anti-aging treatments. If you have any questions or curiosities during the interview, during the event, please don't. You can write your question in the specific box, which it is written in the bottom of your screen. It is written "Ask a question," so you can post it there. So, what are for us the new perspectives? What do we mean by that? So, what we mean with when we talk about new perspectives is specifically the one that encourages an approach to self care in which traditional and ancient techniques benefit and can be combined with innovative technology without jeopardizing the fundamentals of those traditional techniques. We will talk about this topic with our guest, Mrs. Anna Zahn. She is the founder and director of Ricari Studios, and she's also the creator of the Ricari method that actually combines some long established techniques in lymphatic massage with cutting edge technologies like icoone. She was, in fact, one of our first clients in the US, and she has been a pioneer in bringing icoone into the US wellness scene scenario. So, thank you very much, Anna, for being here. I know that you're in Spain right now. You have a very international setting, then you will talk to us about that. And so, why don't we start with you telling us a little bit more about your background, about Ricari Studios, the services that you generally offer in all your locations, and also a little bit more about how you have created the Ricari method and what it is exactly.
Of course. Hi. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so grateful to be here, and it's been such a pleasure to work with icoone over the years and really, bring them into the US market. So I was introduced to this type of technology about 10 years ago with LPG and followed Gianfranco's developments to icoone, which is how I discovered icoone because it was really not available in the US yet. And I found that I was interested in the development with icoone because it wasn't just focused on a beauty treatment per se, but it was all encompassing of well-being, recovery, and the benefits for beauty and aesthetics. So I felt that was really aligned with what we're about and what we're interested in really bringing to the market because what I've seen and what I encourage is an approach to well-being and beauty together, where it's not just a beauty treatment, it's not just a wellness treatment, it is both. And they benefit each other, and beauty is a facet of self-care and well-being. And that's really our approach. So it's been about, I think, almost 4 years that we've been working with icoone. And in that time, I've seen a huge shift in perspectives in terms of our clients and just cultures, especially in the US and in the United Kingdom, where people are
Anna,
learning.
sorry if I interrupted a little bit. Is that your voice is coming and going? So do you think you can maybe talk a little bit nearer the microphone?
Of course, yes.
Oh, this is great. Thank you.
It's
Thanks.
good? Okay. Sorry about that. My
No, it's
connection
fine. No, it's great.
could be like it. Hopefully it's okay. So, do you know the last thing you heard?
When you started talking about the Gianfranco Tudico and then that it was not available in the US, up to there it was well understood, but I think that up from there, the sound was a little bit bad.
No
We lost it a
problem.
bit. Thank you.
So sorry if I'm repeating, but I really love the approach of icoone that really combines both the aesthetic and beauty elements with the wellness and recovery aspects, where it's not just, a treatment for cellulite or a treatment for remodeling, but it also, encourages lymphatic drainage, blood circulation, the nervous system. So you're really looking at a systematic approach to treatments in a way that, you know, whether somebody's coming in because they're an athlete or they're prepping for an event, just got off a flight, or they just had surgery, we can really cater treatments to a broad audience. And start to reshape the perspective on, self-care treatments where beauty and aesthetics can be a part of that, but it also includes our general well-being and internal mobility in terms of how our systems are functioning in the body. So I really love that about icoone, and our method was created around this systematic approach to beauty and well-being and recovery, where you're taking more of a lifestyle approach than just result driven or just for beauty or just for wellness, that it is all encompassing. And it's not just the treatments that we're providing, but it's also the lifestyle that you create around that, and the experience that you have with us, that hopefully is an educational experience that changes people's perspective on their own self-care practices. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yes,
Go
it
into
does.
the method a bit more, and I would say our method is definitely centered around icoone, and that's the center of our treatments and where we really focus a lot of our treatments. We do use other modalities and include other approaches, but this tech forward approach is really the center of our method. And we create it in a way that it's constantly growing and changing, and including technologies that continue to move forward these types of treatments. So I would say that is really, really where our method stands. It's not just the technology that we employ, but it's the experience and the education that we're providing for our clients, and the loyalty that we generate around this lifestyle approach to treatments, rather than just, it's only about, get rid of cellulite, or, come in for 10 treatments and you're done. It's really encouraging an overall lifestyle approach to treatments.
I see. And Anna, Ricari Studio has an international structure, right? How would you describe your business model, and which do you think is the key for your success in this international environment?
It's all about creating loyalty and relationships with clients and the people that we work with. I think that you can have, the most tech, all the marketing, all of the PR, but the foundation of a good business that stands the test of time and that I feel is sustainable is about creating strong relationships with every single person that you're engaged with. So a lot of our growth hasn't come so much from a traditional strategy as much as out of the relationships that have been built over the years. And since I've been lucky to be in this industry for, about 10 years now, we've had clients that have been coming for 8, 9, some 10 years. Some of the first clients that I ever saw are still our clients. So having that, sustainable loyalty, I think, is a really important part of building business, and not just looking at it in a way of how can I get lots of clients, or how can I, do tons of marketing, but how can I build loyalty, and how can I build strong relationships? And I think word of mouth is one of the most powerful tools. It's probably the most powerful tool that I've seen build our success. And it might not be, big and flashy, but that's really the heartbeat of what has built the business over time. And not just growing for growth's sake, or not just opening locations because we can, but really taking it step by step and thinking about our clients, and can we still provide the high quality treatments? Can we still provide a beautiful experience for our clients, and provide a space that people want to come back to, or they want to continue to explore with us?
I
So
see.
that's really, I think, a big part of where our success lies. I always think of it in terms of, your favorite restaurants, or, iconic spaces that have stood the test of time. And why do we come back to places time and time again? And it's not just, the service, but it's the whole experience of what you're coming into. So I think that in this time where we have, social media and marketing and all those things, it's important. But I think really the center of a sustainable business model is creating sustainability through the loyalty of your client base and the people that you're working with, whether it's your specialists or technicians, or it's, people like yourself that you're working with that are providing the tools and equipment. I think building those relationships in a way that is sustainable is a really valuable part of building business that stands the test of time.
Yes, in fact, I was going to ask you because in this industry, in the wellness industry, clients, the final clients, I mean, they find themselves in front of an immense offer of types of spa, types of treatments. How does Ricari differentiates from all of that immense offer? What do you think is unique about your method? What would they find different from Ricari to other spas or med spas?
Well, I think going back to the restaurant model,
Okay.
using that as a comparison tool,
Yes.
you can have hundreds of restaurants in a city that make pasta, and, there are tons of options, but what's the reason we go back to certain places? And I think it comes down to that quality. So obviously, icoone, I believe, is the best quality in terms of technology that is able to treat connective tissue, facilitate lymphatic drainage, and also provide a ton of different options to customize and curate each treatment to the needs of the client. So I believe that ability to customize and tailor treatments is also why people come back, and you're able to look at someone in a systematic way rather than just do the same thing over and over and over again. You can really tailor the experience and create those relationships that allow people to feel welcome. They want to come back, and we really pay attention to not just the technology we provide, but also the service and the experience, from the lighting to the music to what it feels like when you enter a room. Obviously, putting on a bodysuit can be very intimidating for people. So making people feel comfortable, making people feel welcome, creating that full experience from start to finish is another important part that I think allows us to stand out in terms of other places. And then for me, just because we might be one of the first doesn't mean we're going to be the only one. And I think rather than looking always over your shoulder at what other people are doing, I think it's important to just focus on how can you continue to be the best at what you're doing, and ensure that you are providing the most excellent service, treatments, and protocols for your clients. Education is a big part of that. I think educating yourself, educating your clients, allowing them to learn more about what these treatments are doing, how they're beneficial, and understanding that results are very important, but this is also a lifestyle approach to self-care, where we're always going to deal with stress, we're always going to deal with inflammation, we're always going to have, something happening in our body. So it's not, 10 treatments and you're done. It's, we really want to look at developing this ongoing approach to self-care to not only deliver better results, but also to uplift and have a healthier lifestyle. And also look at it too, which is good.
Yes. In fact, Anna, talking about results, what is, according to you, the main feedback that you receive from your clients after they have applied your method, an entire environment we have talked about in terms of the results they achieved, but at the same time, the general feeling of the treatment?
Well, I think you sort of answered it, because we often talk about results, but a result is a very, very broad term, and it can mean very different things for each person. A result can be that you have, a loss of circumference around your legs. It can be that your skin's tighter. It can also be that you're sleeping better, you're less stressed, that your digestion has improved, that we have a lot of clients that have, pain with their period, and they notice that that's improved for them. So I think that results a very broad term, and, thinking about and posing that in a way to people where, how are you feeling? How are you experiencing this? Not just in terms of oh, do I have less cellulite? Oh, how does my skin look? But also, how is my body functioning better? Do I feel more fluid, more flexible? And, again, educating your audience in a way that's not solely based on the surface, but also what's happening internally and how that's a benefit that many people may not recognize.
So that is a process, right? Maybe
Yeah.
clients come to you because they are looking only for the aesthetic results, like losing cellulite appearance or losing, let's say, centimeters but you embedded them in an environment and they will see results in a way that they can include them in their lifestyle. Am I correct?
And vice versa. We have
Okay.
clients that come in that are coming in because they are jet lagged or they just had surgery or they're athletes and then notice that, oh, my skin looks better, or oh, I have less cellulite, or we get crossover of sort of that beauty, well-being, and recovery. And I think that perspective in allowing for those multi-tiered results is really valuable for clients.
Can I ask you something? Partly, you have already replied to these questions. You have spoken about how you have embedded icoone in your particular method. Can I ask you if having this technology has added any other competitive advantage to your method in terms of, I don't know, more revenue, more clients, more services?
I mean, again, I would say that it comes down to quality for me. So when you provide the highest quality experience over time, that will sustain and that will draw more people into your treatment. And I think that the competitive advantage comes not just in that technology that you're offering, but also how you're engaging with your clients and how you're engaging that space and how you're providing a service. I find that a lot of beauty centers and med spas and traditional spas miss on the opportunity to provide a beautiful service, whether it's how you're, having a conversation with your clients, how you're engaging with them when they book a treatment, how you're following up with them, how you're speaking to them in the space itself. I've been to places where the technician has had their headphones in and they're not even paying attention to you. And of course, you're going to have a fine experience, but adding that extra level of excellent service, I think, makes a big difference in terms of why people will choose to come back to you.
Yes.
I also think understanding all of the benefits of the protocols, the combinations of those protocols, where it's not just doing the same thing every single time, but you're really catering to the needs of each client and adjusting the protocols to provide optimal benefits.
So, in fact, personalization is a key aspect of what you're offering to your clients. You have just mentioned the word protocols, and given that you have locations in the UK and the US, do you offer their protocols that are different? Do you notice their clients in one side of the ocean are requesting for a sort of treatment or protocol, and in the other part of the Atlantic, different ones?
I think that because each client is coming with a different set of needs, it's hard to say that one is more than the other. We do have the laser model of icoone in the UK because of the regulations that are different in the UK versus the US. But I find that both are delivering the same quality of experience, because at the center of each treatment is the Roboderm patent and working the connective tissue, improving the quality of your internal mobility, your blood circulation, your lymphatic drainage. So when you're keeping that at the center, the laser as just adding an extra layer of benefit. So I think that we have many clients that travel between locations and have experienced both models, but still feel that the quality of the treatments they're receiving is the same.
I see.
So I think it's not so much, one versus another. I think that lifestyles in cities are different. That I would say there's more of a difference between Los Angeles and New York than there is New York and London,
I
because
see.
one's more of a driving city, one's more walking cities and more athletic based. And obviously those cities are fast paced, sometimes more stressful than Los Angeles, which is a bit more kind of laid back California attitudes. And obviously, I think when you're in warmer climates, you get a lot of clients who are worrying about being in bikinis. So I think that there's a lot more, I would say, aesthetically driven clients in LA than in New York and London.
I see. And after your clients have, let's say, finished their package of treatments, how often do you recommend them to keep on doing them?
At least I say minimally once a month to maintain minimally once a month. I optimally once every 2 weeks, but it also depends on your lifestyle. So if you are getting regular massages, if you're exercising, if depending on how you're eating, how stressful your life is, that's going to impact, how many treatments you may need in terms of maintenance and kind of maintaining general well-being. And that can change too if someone, is traveling a lot more, or if they have an event or a photo shoot or a film shoot, then we encourage them to come in for more treatments to continue to boost and, see ongoing benefits. And then I typically encourage clients to come in for another series of treatments, maybe once a year or once every 2 years, again, to kind of really continue to see the benefits of our services.
I see. So we have noticed that, talking about the way you communicate, we have noticed that you have several bloggers and influencers and magazines among your clients. Was this like a planned strategy to provide more visibility to Ricari Studios, or this is something that just happened because a little bit of word of mouth and a little bit of the quality of the treatment that then gave the impulse to those people to like talk about it and call you and make interviews and give that exposure that you have?
I mean, for me, it happened naturally, but I think that is the benefit of being one of the first to bring something over, is that there's a lot of attention from press outlets and spaces wanting to profile something that's new. I say new because this technology has been around for a time, but new to these markets. So it did really come naturally, but I do, see the benefits of working with PR agencies and marketing agencies. But again, I think it's really important to work with agencies that you feel really connected to and that you have good relationships with, that you feel can represent your brand and what your offerings are. And again, I think it's really important that the relationships that you're building with clients is at the center of, of your business, because again, you can have all the marketing in the world, but it doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to want to come back. And I think that's really important, is, creating an experience and creating a space that people really want to come back to, send their family members, gift their friends, and really, spread that into their communities. I really feel that a big part of building our success is welcoming in communities. We've had the benefit to have grandparents, parents, kids, all like multi-generational families coming through, which to me really speaks to, more than any of the press and any, influencers. That to me is the greatest accomplishment, is when people feel comfortable coming back in and want to share it with others.
I see. Do you think there is a still, because this is a tendency, the fact that more and more people are looking into aesthetic treatments as a way of enhancing their own quality of life? Do you think there is still a lot of work to do to that part of the audience that still feel like that wellness treatments are more like an indulgency?
Absolutely. I think that at least for the US and the UK, we don't have bathing culture like other cultures do. And I think that it's a new concept to think about treatments not as a luxury, but as a necessity, something that is valuable, that's not frivolous, that's not for a special occasion. And I think that coming out of this COVID experience, people are recognizing how valuable our own health is and how it's worth spending time, money, resources on our well-being. So I think that it's a changing conversation. I think that when you look at other cultures where they're going to hammams, they're going to the bathhouses, they're getting scrubs, they're getting massages regularly. That is a practice that we are, I think, a bit behind on, and it's hopefully we're reshaping the cultural perspectives on the importance of regular treatments, not as something that's indulgent, but something that's really valuable and just as valuable as, any number of things that we would spend time and money on.
Yes. In fact, probably COVID has helped a lot to people to change priorities a little bit and to give more value to the rehabilitation, let's say, aspect of those treatments. Anna, which are, because you've said this, you have a location in LA, another one in New York, and one in London inside a Nomad hotel. Which are your next projects? How are you expanding the Ricari method?
Yeah, so we have plans to expand in Texas, in the Cayman Islands, and we are launching a retreat series this summer. September, we will start with week-long retreat experiences. The first will be in Playa in Italy, which is where we'll also introduce the Move device, which is complementary to icoone, and we will be able to have guests come and have multiple treatments in symphony with the Move, which I'm very excited to experience myself and also see how our clients enjoy that experience. So a lot of growth on the horizon that I'm very grateful for, a lot of amazing partners and amazing people that we've had the gift to work with, most of whom I've known for a very, very long time. So I think that patience is a quality that's really important. And I think it's easy to, look to others and try to be fast paced. But for me, I think finding sustainability and creating something that stands the test of time is at the center of what we do, and being really thoughtful about every step we take in terms of growth, where it's not just growing for growth's sake, but it's growing because it makes sense and we are working with individuals who we really love to work with. So very excited to have all this growth and new experiences and adventures for our clients and within our brand.
That's great. Congratulations, because it seems as the
Thank
model,
you.
maybe because of what you've said, right? It's just not acting in a rush, but it's a process that is developing, and you're choosing the right partner, you're choosing the right moment, you're using the influencers that you know for such a long time, but it's just to find the right spot at the right time. And I think that we will have the opportunity to have the recovery method here in Italy in September. So that's great, really. That's great. So, and also you will be implementing this icoone. We move together, which again, it's a sort of a pioneer in what you're doing. And what I will do right now is I will give the possibility to the public to make some questions if they have some. Please don't be shy. Okay. I will give them a little bit more time. In the meantime, I have a personal question, which I follow you on Instagram, right? And I have noticed that you have a very particular way of posting. You don't post your services, you don't post offers, you don't post the treatments. You have found a way of communicate to people in a very, well, I don't know if it is the right term, but in a very artistic way, because your pictures are nude pictures, very elegant, very beautiful. But you don't, and notwithstanding that, it's not direct, it's maybe in an indirect way that you're achieving what you're looking for. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely. And my background is primarily in film, photo, dance, performance, creative direction. So I found that the med spa and spa industry was really lacking a more kind of refined image, I would say, a more inclusive image, an image that celebrates the body rather than looks for problems that it tries to solve. I think that, for me, it's creating that experience from start to finish, as I've spoken about, where it's the first moment that someone's experiencing your brand and all the way through the moment they get home or they wake up the next morning and they receive a follow-up asking how they're feeling. So that moment of experience for me starts the moment someone is finding out about your brand, and finding creative ways to encompass what we're doing again as an experience, and trying to look at a different way to elevate and modernize a space that often feel a bit dated, in my opinion.
Yes, yes, a bit
Yeah, I
dated.
think it needs a
Yes.
little bit, some remodeling.
Yes, or something that people say, okay, that's different. So I'm
Yeah,
going to take a look at that.
yeah,
Okay.
and I think that, inspiring creativity, inspiring, people to, I think if you're constantly posting the same things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, you know, it's not necessarily going to draw people back, right?
No,
So
no,
I
and you lose momentum because after you have repeated yourself several times, and maybe you're
Mhm.
lose momentum, right?
And we do, and we'll do offers and we'll do certain things, but it's done very selectively, and it's done in a way that isn't super loud. It's not in your face. I also think because of social media, we're so inundated with ads all the time, all the time, all the time. I've had enough cookies. I'm good on cookies.
Yes.
So I think that we are so overstimulated with, buy more, do more,
Yes.
look at me. So I think that, if we're providing a relaxing experience in the treatments that we're giving, also providing that in our social media and our online space, where even we're about to relaunch our website, and I was giving feedback and I was like, even when you go to the website, hopefully you feel a little bit more relaxed, in
Yes.
just viewing a page. And then over time, having the ability to, do more photo shoots and do more in that space. But again, I don't like to rush into these things. I like to be very thoughtful about how are we depicting things, how are we representing the space, how can we be welcoming, inclusive, thoughtful, and look at beauty in a way that um, is encompassing of well-being, and recovery, and all these other aspects that we, and kind of take this more creative approach. And we do have a lot of clients that are in the arts, that are in entertainment, that are in industries that have a very refined eye, and I think appreciate our approach that is a bit more creative.
I see. Anna, I have two questions from the public. One is coming from Jenny Hung or Hung, and she's asking how long have you owned the icon laser?
The icoone laser, it's been just exactly a year this month. We launched the laser in June of last year at the Nomad Hotel. We absolutely love it, and love how the new models have further refined the rollers and have given more treatment head possibilities for better protocols. We love chin sculpt. We love all of the new protocols that have been offered on this device, and we're excited to upgrade our other devices so they can be on this level. So we've had it for about a year.
I see. Thank you. And the other question is coming from Andreas. who's thanking you for the brilliant presentation and is also asking which are the most requested treatments in your centers.
Our most popular, surprisingly, is our longer treatments. We really find that our clients want to spend time with us, which I was very surprised by. So our most requested treatments are our 90 and our 120-minute treatment times. We originally, launched a 30-minute treatment. It's rarely booked. People really want to spend time with us. So that was something that I found really surprising, but also makes sense to me too, because I have a hard time doing a treatment in less than 90 minutes. I love to spend time and really relax and really receive all the benefits. And from the operational side of things, our specialists love the longer treatments because they can go through more of the protocols. So we can do, a base program, then we can do, some remodeling, some drainage and toning, and maybe focus on a scar or, focus on one specific area. So we find that those longer treatments are actually our biggest requested of all.
And can I ask you something now that you mentioned these the long treatments? In a very operative, it's a very operative question, but the operators of icoone, even though they have to spend like a lot of time, because maybe during a day they have several 90 minutes treatments, how do they find the maneuvering of icoone during those long treatments? The fact that it has maybe two hands, do they find it like a benefit for them?
Absolutely. I would say that most complain that 60 minutes is not enough, that they like to be able to switch between, the twins and the solo and the mini, and, be able to really tailor each treatment. And especially if they're also doing the face, which a lot of our treatments, it's both body and face. I would say that that's more popular too, is that people also want face stimulation. So that longer time frame does give the ability to switch in between and provide more, really refined. Maybe it's like 10 minutes just spent on the feet. Like, you can really, really tailor, and our clients really love to feel like they are being, their treatments being curated to their needs and their desires.
I see. Anna, thank you very much for your. No, there's one more question. They are telling me just one thing. Sorry. So, is it again Jenny? So she's asking if you're doing more face or body treatments.
We actually don't do only face. Our approach and our belief is that if we're treating the whole system, that the face is a part of the whole system. So we actually don't do any treatments that don't also treat the body. So I would say that our body and face treatments are most requested. But whenever we are approaching the face, it is an extension of the body. So if we want to see the best benefits in our face treatments, we also want to stimulate the whole lymphatic system, the whole body.
In fact, it makes sense because of how the lymphatic system works, how the connective tissue is all interconnected. So it really makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Anna, thank you very much for your time. Really, I think that you have given a lot of your experience. We have several spa managers that are following us in these conversations, and I'm sure that they had found this quite enlightenment in a business way, but also in open minds to other approaches. So we want to thank you very much for taking the time to make this icoone talk with us. We can't wait to welcome you here in Italy in September, and to keep on seeing how you grow in worldwide, really. So thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure, and I'm excited to have more people in this space offering these amazing treatments. There is such a need for more icoone.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, Anna. Thank you to all of the participants for being here in this, let's say, 40 minutes. And let's see you again in July, where we will have another icoone talk, in which we will present the latest results that has been achieved with icoone, medical and non-medical. So hope to see you all there, and have a nice morning or afternoon. Goodbye.
Beautiful.
Ta-ta.
Thank you,
Bye.
ciao.
You're welcome.